Welcome to Hotline 21. I'm your host, Bruce Jackson from the Gift House. And today we're going to have a great show for you. We're going to talk about, as you know, we are a community health show. So we're going to talk about some problems that you may encounter. Hopefully you don't encounter any problems. But we're going to talk about some problems that you may encounter at your clinic or at your hospital or with your doctor. And so these are some keepsakes that you can make notes. And I'm going to be looking at a book. It's called The 100 Most Common Medical Blunders and How to Avoid Them All. And we're going to look at drug side effects. We're going to look at hospital mistakes, and we're going to look at misdiagnosis. And hopefully this helps you on your merry way, particularly as you go to the doctor and try to stay healthy. So not all of these conditions may happen at every hospital, but it's something that you need to be mindful of so that you have the best health. Now, for those of you who want to get tested, what we're going to do is we want you to come to the Gift House to get tested for HIV or STDs. And here is our address. And we're at the Gift House at 1309 South Kedzie Avenue. And we have a nurse on staff, and they will test you. All tests are anonymous, and so you can come in, you can get tested. If you want to call, you can call us. If you want to make an appointment, you can at 773-522-2420. Or, sometimes a lot of people like to leave emails. And you're welcome to leave an email at thegifthouse@sbcglobal.net. And you can check us out also on the web, www.thegifthouse.org. And we have several nurses that can assist you with these tests. And our goal here is to make sure you stay healthy. So here we are. We're gonna talk about some of the common errors that happen in clinics and in hospitals and with doctors. Not to say that they want these things to happen, but they do happen. And remember, doctors, nurses, hospitals, they're ran by people. And people are not infallible. They make mistakes. I mean, no one's perfect. So we're going to look at, our first one is, you want to check on your doctor. You want to look at deadly mistakes that doctors make. And these are just some of them that they're not intentional, but these are some medical errors that we're going to discuss. Okay. One of the bullet points in this book, it says, what can patients do to make sure their medication is being administered properly? And one of the suggestions that they're offering is that get very clear and very detailed explanations from your provider beforehand and in writing. And this way you can kind of read the material over as opposed to just hearing it verbally and you're trying to write it. If you get it in writing, you're in a much better position because now you can check it out. And sometimes when we write something, as information is being given to us, I know I do, we tend to leave out some information, not intentionally. It's just that for some reason the brain just didn't pick it up. And so you'll get partial information, and maybe what you would leave out may be the most important thing. They goes on to say, find out what you're going to be taking and how long and what side effects might occur. And so remember, any type of medication you take, there are going to be side effects. Although the medication is designed to assist and help you, these medications, they all have side effects. This, sadly to say, I don't know any medication that doesn't have a side effect. Some of them are greater than others, but remember, all the medications you take are going to have some type of side effect. So it's important to get it in writing so you know what it is that medication is going to be used for and how it's going to benefit your body, and also what are the side effects of that particular medication. And not in all cases, but in some cases, depends on the severity of your condition. Some side effects may, as some patients have complained, may be greater than the benefit. And so that's why it's important for you. And then too, you may be allergic to certain medications. So you want to take the time out and read that material. Get it in writing and just take the time out and read it, because we're talking about your health. They go on to say, when you're talking to your physician or you're talking to your doctor, even if they say something, even if you don't like the doctor, remember, you want to use a polite tone when you're talking to your doctor. You can you can say, can you please tell me what this drug is for? And you can also ask, what are the side effects? You might want to say, what dose should I be on? And see, these are some very good questions. And you also want to know the research on this medication, because in the research it may give you details. Now, keep in mind, when you ask the doctor these questions, you're not trying to challenge the doctor. What you want to do is you want to make sure it's most beneficial for you, because you are the patient and you have to live in this temple you call the body. So whatever you put in the body, you need to know how is it going to affect your body. So these are some pertinent questions that you really need to ask your doctor. The more you ask for medical information about what you're taking, medication, the better off you are. You won't feel so anxious. You won't be asking yourself, what's happening to me? Is this medication helping? You have a very sound perspective of what this medication is doing in your body. And you would also know the side effects. But remember, whenever you're talking to a care provider, you want to use very polite tone. You don't want to be angry. They're just trying to help you. Okay, and that's 99.999% of the cases. There's always 1%, but 99.99% of the time, they're there to help you. But remember, there's always 1%. Another question you may ask, how can patients protect themselves before they undergo anesthesia? And that's the sleeping medication when they put you under. And that's important, because once you go under, you can't ask any more questions. So you really need to be real clear, particularly before you go under. While you are awake, you want to be clear if you're going under in almost 100% of the time. If you're going under, what's happening is you're probably 100% of the time, you're probably going to have some type of surgery. Okay, they're gonna aggressively go into your body. So you really want to be clear on the war question. Okay, and here's what patients should say. And this particular book was written by physicians, so they're licensed physicians, and this is what they're asking patients to say. Patients should insist on meeting their anesthesiologist. They want to get his name. He's going to put you under. He's going to give you the gas. You want to get his name ahead of time. You don't want to try to find out who put you under after the fact. So you want to get his name ahead of time to discuss all of their concerns and to go through their complete medical history. Okay? You want to kind of go through the complete make sure you go through the complete medical history, and I mean you got to look at your own medical history and share it with the anesthesiologist. And you might want to again take some notes because they don't have a lot of time. So you want to use your time wisely. You cannot assume that your anesthesiologist has your records or has reviewed them. Never assume. If you're going to go under the gas, or if you're going to go to an anesthesiologist, take your medical records with you. And if you have some medical concerns, you probably want to use a highlighter. You want to highlight the whole, because sometimes medical records can be 2,000 and 3,000 pages. So you just want to highlight what it is that they're going to be putting you under, giving you anesthesia for. So when they go into your body, you want to just focus particularly on that. But you want to highlight your concerns and you want to share it with the anesthesiologist. Okay? Because that's going to assist you down the road, particularly when you go under. So you want to have your records with you, or and make sure that he quickly review them. Mention, and it goes on to say, mention if you are a family member and has trouble with anesthesia, or if you have a history of having to be having very high fevers, or anesthesia gives you a very high fever, you might want to share it with the anesthesiologist. He may have another type of medication that he can give you to put you under, but you got to share it with him. You really have to share it with him. So to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So he's able to assist you in many, many ways if you tell him in advance. So you want to be completely honest with your care providers. Tell them everything. And sometimes people feel that they feel ashamed. They really feel ashamed, and they don't want to tell the doctor or tell the medical health provider certain things. But if you don't tell them, they won't know. Remember, the first thing the doctor asks you is, where does it hurt? Or what is your concern? He doesn't know. She doesn't know. You have to give it to them. And if you don't give it to them, they can't help you. Let's continue. We all know that hospital patients should ask a family member or friend to be on site to help monitor their care. What should this person be looking for? Okay, and what they're suggesting, your guardian or your friend or your family member should know your treatment plan and your medication schedule. And that's important because particularly when you're going to be under, you just really can't talk to any healthcare provider. You just can't. So what you want to do is you want to get a family member or a friend or someone who knows you quite well and kind of provide them with pertinent medical information, because you're stressed out. You may be kind of anxious because of the procedure you're going through or the medical situation that you encountered, you may not be 100% mentally, but they, on the other hand, they are calm, they're cool, they're very collective, and they have information that they can then go, and they got a clear mind in yours, and they can share it with the care provider. This is all going to benefit you. So you might want to get someone that's very close, that really cares about you, a loved one, a family member, an uncle, aunt, your wife, your brother, your sister, to go along with you to the doctor's office when you go under anesthesia to help you in this situation. I believe we have a caller. Caller, state your question or concern.
How you doing, Mr. Bruce Jackson? My name is Al Daffin. Listen
How are
to
you?
you all the time. Love your show. I have a question. What are the most medical mistakes that is made?
Well, we were just sharing with you, but one of the most common medical mistakes is made, say if we were talking about anesthesiology, and when they put you under the gas, sometimes records get misplaced. Sometimes due to the chaos that may be happening in the hospital, and they've got so many people that they have to provide service to, or they may have a shortage of staff, they may the surgeon may cut the wrong area because records can get misplaced. So one of the things you want to do, if you go to the hospital and you're going to have surgery and they're going to have to cut on you, you want to ask the surgeon or the anesthesiologist or the healthcare provider where they're going to cut, because you know what's ailing you, and have them to use a marker and circle the area while you are awake where they're going to cut at. So you can identify, yes, that's the area that I complained about, I told my doctor about, that's where they're going to have the surgery. And that way, if any chaos happened, they're going to notice, the surgeon's going to notice this marker around where you're supposed to be. And if there's a mistake, that's going to prevent him from continuing. He's going to look into it, and that may safeguard you from a mishap. So that's a big common mistake that hospitals have. And if you are forewarned about it and you take the necessary precautions, you can prevent that from happening to you. And you can have a very successful surgery. Thank you, caller, for calling in.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's continue. One other question that they have is, how common is it for people to die or for serious errors to occur without the patient or family member knowing what went wrong? Now that's a big question. It's actually a mouthful. And what they are suggesting, and keep in mind that these are licensed physicians who are telling you this. I'm just sharing you information. This is not coming directly from Gift House. I'm just sharing the information with you. I believe that it's helpful. I have used this when I go to the hospital. I use this as my Bible because I'm not a healthcare provider, but I do want people to know what's best, because your health is everything. It's everything. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how big your house is. I don't care what kind of car you drive. If you haven't your health, you have nothing. Your health is your wealth. You know, I would give up everything for good health. And so I really listen to healthcare providers and I respect them. And I think they're doing a great job, and medicine have come a long way. Okay, and here's the one other thing. They says that if you believe that a medical error has occurred, talk to your caregiver. Ask for disclosure of all facts and a copy of your medical records and charts. If necessary, you can ask to speak to the head of the department. If you still are not getting the adequate response, or if you feel you are being stonewalled, contact the head of the hospital. So you want to, you want to kind of get to the bottom of it, because if you lose your health, you pretty much lose everything. I wish I had more time, but it just signaled me we've got 5 minutes left. So what I want to share with you, for those who want to get tested, I'm going to put our information from Gift House. Remember, we've got several nurses. We really want to keep them busy and get tested. The tests are free. All the tests are free. You can come and get tested every month if you like. But remember, the tests are free. So there's no fee, none whatsoever. And so I'm going to put this information back up. So if you want to get tested for HIV, STD, we also do hypertension as well as diabetes screening. These tests are free. You can come once a month to get tested. You really need to know your status. You can come to the Gift House. We're located at 1309 South Kedzie. You can call us at 773-522-2420. Or you can give us an email at thegifthouse@sbcglobal.net. Or you can check us out on the web at www.thegifthouse.org. And there we have tons of information that you can review and that you can discuss with your loved ones. And if you have a partner that you want to be tested, you want to get tested with you, you can bring your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and come in and get tested. Or family members, come in and get tested, where we protect your privacy and your confidentiality. We're very big on that. And so it's a great place to come in and get tested and keep yourself healthy. I believe I have a little bit more time. And so what I want to do, I want to try and share with you some other information that we have, which is another thing about surgery. And this is a warning. Read this before having outpatient surgery, which is what they're offering, what they're saying. Read it. I'm going to share with you. It says, the doctor's office, you are not paying for high overhead associated with hospitals. So this is what they're referring to as smaller clinics, where they're leaving the big hospitals where you have a lot of precautions, and they go to smaller clinics. So when they go to smaller clinics, they don't have the big staff. They just don't have it. And so they get kind of lax. Not that they want to, they just don't have the staff. So less people, fewer mistakes. So what they want you to do is when you go to these small clinics, make sure that these clinics are licensed. And the last thing, if you can, go to, because we only have 1 minute left, hospital-owned outpatient facilities. That's really usually your best choice for outpatient surgery. And I think that's all the time we have for now. I really wish I could have had more time to share with you. But these are some information. I hope you wrote them down and try to remember them so that you can have the best health when you go in for surgery or when you go to see your doctor. And remember to write down your concerns and share it with your doctor. Make your bullet points because they don't have a lot of time. So you want to make sure you get your expressions out and let them be nice and clear. And remember, be polite. Thank you for now and have a good night.